Answers are there. It's like when you go to college and you learn that if you have a extensive question on a test, quite often if you read the question carefully, you don't have to take the course, the answer's in the question. Financial statements are like that. We have some questions here. Anybody have something that they want to talk about?
Can we touch upon REITs?
What?
REITs.
REIT. What's your question?
Just in general, I've been looking at investing in stocks. I'm wondering if REITs are a good choice of investments. I know
well, everything is timing, remember? REITs are selling at a premium right now because interest rates are so low. I'm not an expert on the stock market, but I would think that here's the trick to REITs. There's what's called Wall Street and Main Street when you're dealing with real estate. Wall Street is stocks, real estate stocks, and REITs. Main Street is buying a property. Everybody got that? Again, there are times when the premium is buying it by buying the REIT. You're paying more for the property when you buy the REIT than if you just went out and bought the property. There are other times when the market is down, the REIT stocks are down, and you can buy the property cheaper by buying the stock. For example, REITs right now are paying 3 or 4%. I think about 3 years ago we were paying 8, 9%. That was the time to buy the REITs. Now, most REITs are selling above the asset price. So the answer is to look at it when REITs are selling at less than their liquidated value. Instead of buying property, you want to buy REITs. When they're selling for more than their liquidated value, you want to go out and buy property. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Did you have a yes?
Do you think that you would have been nearly as successful in real estate had you started in the year 2000 rather than 1960?
Yeah, well, yes, there was a lot of opportunity in 2005 and 2007. And there are people today making a fortune buying notes from banks. So I would say, yeah, it would be different. It would be a different approach. Yeah, today, if I started, I would go into buying assets from banks rather than in the market because they're selling at a discount. You can, if you're willing to buy notes and go to the trouble of handling the foreclosure and everything, I know people that are making 20, 30, 40% on the money. I couldn't do that when I started. It was the problem for most people today is that interest rates are very low, and so properties in many areas are selling at high prices. But it's driven by the fact that mortgage rates are so low. The problem is mortgage rates are going to go up, and when they do, the prices of the properties will come down. So the opportunities today are more in the outlying areas where the prices are better. Say where you can buy at an 8% return rather than a 5%. It's going to be very hard to sell a property that you bought at a 5% return when the interest rates go up to 6 and 7%. So I'd be very careful where you bought. And there's still the Midwest is a great place. And there are a lot of people buying smaller properties, even here in Los Angeles, and using sweat equity or creative ways of dealing with the property. I would say it's a lot harder today than it was if you're going to work in LA. Because in the 60s, you could buy anything and it was going to go up. And it usually went up before we closed escrow. But in those days, we could get 120-day escrows. Today, you can only get a 30-day escrow. It's always not
Sam,
the
can
way.
I get you to put it closer to your mouth so we can?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this better back there? Can you guys hear
Much
better? Okay, perfect.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you.
All right. Yes.
You were saying in your career how you started off small
Right.
and you kind of grew from there. How do you decide, like, you know, say you, I'm just throwing a number, say you do, you said $300,000 properties. How do you decide that I go from here to, say, 500,000 or a million? Like, how do you?
Well, part of it is, and we talked beforehand, on how you raise money. If you're going to raise money, this is all explained in my book, Principles of Real Estate Syndication, which you get from Amazon. And the first question that the investor asks is how much of your money you, the syndicator, putting into the deal. And some of you have been out there doing this and you're familiar with that. It gives confidence. So what you can invest sort of limits your first couple deals. My rule of thumb is that I'm not going to try and raise money unless I can put at least 20% of the equity up myself. So let's say that you can come up with $25,000. Beg, borrow, steal it, scrape it from your relatives, whatever. So $25,000 is roughly $125,000, and that's 1/3 of the price. You can borrow 2/3 today in the market. So that means you can buy about $350,000 property. That would be your first property. Now, after you've done it for a while and you've got a track record, then you can sell based on your track record and come up with less of the money. You maybe get by with putting up 10% after you have a track record. And so that sort of determines where you go. Now, there is a shortcut, which I explained to some of the people here, and that is, if you are good at finding the